So welcome back to part 3 and to day 2. Now yesterday we were beginning to note the different emotions and mental states. And just to put your mind at rest, if you found that difficult, don't worry, that's perfectly normal. What can often happen is that we start to think about what to note it as. So it's, should that be worry? Or no, maybe it's doubt. But maybe it's worry, and we can sort of get caught up in all this thinking. I think the more confident you become in this exercise, the more easily you'll be able to simply note it for what it is without getting caught up in that thinking. But it's also worth bearing in mind that we've moved through these different types of noting and observation fairly swiftly, actually, from being aware of physical movement, of feeling, and now being more aware of mind. And that's because within the Headspace journey, I'd like to give you a really good taste of the different ways in which meditation can be used and engaged with. But when people train in meditation, even full time, sometimes they might spend a year or so simply on mindfulness of body, simply being aware of the physical postures. So don't be too hard on yourself if you find it's a little tricky at first, and give yourself a good few days to settle into this new exercise, not rushing to note the different mental states, but instead just pausing, taking all the time you need. Don't worry if thoughts continue to come and go in the background as you're noting, but just pausing long enough to note clearly the mental state, and then to bring your attention back again to the rise and the fall of the breath. So with that in mind, just take a moment to get comfortable in the chair. Eyes open. And when you're ready, a few nice big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm as you start to become more aware of the physical senses, and in particular the weight of the body and that contact between the body and the chair. Becoming aware of any sounds, and then as you bring the attention back to the body, just getting a sense of how the body feels today. And just so that you can get a clearer picture As always, starting at the top of the head, just mentally scanning down through the body all the way down to the toes. So as you scan down through the body, being aware of your posture, aware of the different sensations in the body without judging them in any way. And at the same time starting to become more aware of the emotional tone of mind today. So just noticing any particularly strong underlying mood. As always, just pausing to ask yourself why you're doing this exercise right now, what it is you're looking to understand or learn from the mind. Maybe just bringing to mind the faces of the people close to you in your life, the people you care about, the people who are affected by how you are as a person, and just remembering that this exercise has every bit as much to do with them as it does with you. And knowing that as you begin to turn your attention towards the breath, that this is an effortless exercise, technique, in which we're not looking to try and achieve any particular goal. We're just stepping back and allowing things to unfold. So just starting to become more aware of the breath now, and that rising and falling sensation within the body. Noticing where that feeling is and the rhythm of the breath right now. And before you begin to count the breaths, just remembering that all you need to do today is to realize when you've been distracted. And in that moment, just simply stepping back, noting, thinking or feeling. And then just noting the nature, the tone of that state, whether it's happy, worried, doubt, excitement, boredom. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's simply in knowing what's present in the mind at that time. So if you find it helpful, just starting to count the breaths as they pass now, and just continuing in that way for a few minutes. And now just letting the mind do whatever it wants to do, so just letting go of any focus at all now. And then just gently bringing the attention back to the body again. Back to the physical senses. Noticing the weight of the body on the chair. The feet on the floor. And the hands and the arms just resting on the legs. Noticing any sounds. And in your own time, just gently opening the eyes again. As always, just maintaining that position just for a moment as you refocus the eyes, just being clear about how you're feeling right now. Clear about that intention of carrying awareness with you throughout your day. And as you sit back in the chair now, just taking a moment to appreciate how nice it feels, how good it feels to take a bit of time out of the day. Just remembering that there's no need to rush this noting process. It can be so tempting to try and catch everything that's passing through the mind. And in doing so, to feel kind of a bit of pressure even to try and note very quickly. But it doesn't matter how long it takes, actually. It's just that ability, the familiarity of stepping back, having that bit of space between you and the thought, you and the feeling, and just being able to give it a note or a label and then step away from it. And you might like to just have a look at that throughout the day today as well. Just if you do catch yourself caught up in a particular feeling or chain of thought, the moment you realize you're caught up in it, just to step back and to notice and to note what it is that you're feeling, what the nature of the experience is in the mind at that time. As I say, the more you can start to notice these things, the more you'll see what leads to a happy and positive state of mind and what leads to an unhappy or a very challenging state of mind. But tomorrow we're going to take a look at how you can bring a greater sense of curiosity and an engagement with this practice, which I think will really add something to your meditation.